Alright, what's going on everyone? Today I'm going to show you how you can unlock the Fighting and Biting achievement. This requires you to have a creature you control deal non-combat damage to a creature you don't control 80 times over any number of games. Now, it's a green achievement, so clearly it's referencing bite spells. They're different than fight spells. Fight spells cause creatures to fight. Bite spells cause your creatures to deal damage equal to their power to something else. However, you don't have to play green, and the most efficient way to do this is probably with red creatures that can tap to deal damage to anything, right? And you can just target creatures. So today I want to look at a few decks. First off, if you do want to play bite spells in standard right now, or in Pioneer, this is a Pioneer deck too, this Golgari Poison deck fits the bill because it naturally plays two bite spells, that being Bite Down and Infectious Bite. The reason it plays these is because it has multiple Death Touch creatures. So if you make the Skull Dweller, for example, deal damage equal to its power to anything, the Death Touch counts actually. So these are removal spells when you have hard removal spells. They can kill anything if you have a Death Touch creature. So this deck usually plays these, and oh, by the way, the reason it likes to play these over traditional removal spells is because it also plays Venerated Rot Priest, so they will get a poison because they do target creature you control. So not only are they removal spells, but you give them poison as well. However, if you want to play Pioneer and you want to grind this a little bit faster, it's probably Rakdos Sac or Rakdos Sac, any sacrifice deck. The reason these decks are so good is because of Mayhem Devil. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, deal 1 damage to any target. Every single time that triggers, that's going to be 1 point on the achievement. And this deck will typically trigger this a lot in the game thanks to the cat combo. It's showing the alchemy version. Let me switch this to Explore. But the idea here is you just sack these infinitely. And you can use that, not infinitely, but, every turn. And you can use that to just machine gun your opponent's board down. You can also sacrifice blood tokens. You can sacrifice the draw. You can sacrifice treasures. And yeah, this allows you to just kill all your opponent's stuff. And that's a very quick way to just get this achievement very fast. I also built this version of the deck. It's no longer Jund, but this is a bit more focused on getting this achievement. We're playing Judith and Dreadhorde Butcher alongside this. All of these can deal damage to creatures. So I think this build is more suited for the achievement, though it is a worse version of the deck. And then finally, if you are a Brawl player, you can play something like this. Now I do want to stress, I don't play Brawl, so I don't even know if I should post this deck. I don't want people copying it because it's probably terrible, but you can just play Judith as your commander and play a Rakdos Sac deck. This guarantees you get Judith every game. And then the whole point of this is to play stuff that deals damage when it dies or gives you some sort of effect when it dies. You get sacrifice stuff like Fanatical Offering. And yeah, you just want to get Judith in play, sacrifice stuff, and deal a bunch of damage to creatures. And that will help you get the achievement super quick. So I'll play a game. Should I play all 3 decks or just the 2? I'm going to play a game with the Rakdos Sac achievement, and I'll play a game of Brawl, I guess, and I'll show you how often we can get these triggers. I will say there are some cards that I don't know if they work the way I think they do. This doesn't seem very good. Mulligan. There's Judith. I'm going to keep on that basis alone. Put this back. Now I do have a Deadly Dispute. Maybe it's Fatal Push. This can enter tapped. There's a case of the Gateway Express that makes all of your creatures deal 1 damage. This is Merfolk, so that's interesting. It's going to play this tapped. So technically, if you played that and have 5 creatures, that should be 5 triggers. That's 5 individual creatures dealing non-combat damage to something. But I don't know if that counts, because we saw with the Changeling deck that if we played a Changeling that is both a dragon and a goblin, is still only counted as 1 in the goblin and dragon achievement. So if we play 1 card that makes 5 creatures deal 1 damage at a time, is that going to count for 5 triggers, 5 points on the achievement, or is it just going to be 1 because it's one spell? I'm going to grab this, attack for 2, and then I will sacrifice it So here's one trigger for the achievement. Kill this. Draw 2. Alright, well, we have gotten one trigger. So I can do this. I can technically block. Do I want to? Not really. I'll take 4. So I'll play this. I will attack. I will play the oven. Sure. Yep. Okay, so I need to do this. Sacrifice this. So we'll do 3 here. We'll do 1 here. So there's 2 more triggers. Is that 4 now? Something like that? We might lose the game, but we are doing the thing. Yeah, we're getting flooded, unfortunately. I think it's 4 for this, or 3 for this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice this, gain 3. So we did make the deck worse by doing this. We've drawn 2 of the cards that made the deck worse to try to get the achievement, but we did get a few extra ticks on the achievement because of that. Probably this. Really need something good here. That's not something good. Unfortunately, I think we lose. We didn't draw much. Didn't draw Mayhem Devil, didn't draw Cat. Gonna just take 6 here, I think. Ooh, okay, now I have to block. We don't sacrifice. That way we get the extra damage. Do this. There's another trigger. That's 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Oh my god. Okay, well we got super flooded there, unfortunately. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 15. But losing the Merfolk feels kind of bad. We had 2 Judiths. I guess this is fine though. Don't know why I'm playing this deck again. I was just gonna do 1 each with the Dex, but whatever. We'll try this again. Maybe I should have played the real deck so you can see what it looks like if you're not making your deck worse to try to get the achievement. So we'll just play this tap this turn. Okay, that's scary. I'm feeling like a lot of our cards just don't do anything. It's kind of awkward, but this is a very slow and clunky build of this deck. Another land. So let's discard a land. Judith. And that's a little bit better, I guess. So we can play this. We can play Judith. We can attack for 3. Get a treasure. Then use the treasure. We play Blood Tithe Harvester, get a blood token. Blood token can surveil, or what is it? Draw, discard. Okay. Hit me for 0, because I'll block that. Yep. Okay. Block. Sure. Alright, my turn. Another harvester. So, let's play this. Let's sacrifice 1 of these. We have not got a trigger on Judith, by the way. But we'll do this. Make a treasure. Yep. That's fine. We could win this game, but then not get any achievement progress, which is kind of awkward. Outlaw's Merriment. Outlaw's Merriment will give us targets for our stuff. Our damage for Judith. There we go. Where have you been? We'll pay... I don't know if I need to pay 2 life for that. I'm just going to do it anyway. So let's do this. We'll just discard this. There we go. we didn't get any progress, but Mayhem Devil would do a ton of damage. You'd get a ton of progress. So that deck 100% could realistically maybe get like 3 to 5 per game. Okay, so now I'm going to play a format that I don't play. I think I've played... I could look at my achievement actually. Maybe like 10 games of this. I don't play it at all. I mean, we need to draw stuff, but maybe it's fine. I don't know. This only triggers on creatures. One downside of that. Or against Atris. Do you have creatures? Good. Fantastic. Love to see it. Oh no, we got the rebalanced stuff. That sucks. I think it's just Vran. Vran doesn't deal damage to creatures. He's just a good sacrifice card. I feel like I want to do 2 for this, 1 for this. Drain. Opponent's going to be playing counter spells, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. So let's just do... No, I got to play this. Let's just play this, have it countered, and we'll replay it. I mean, having your commander soak up counter spells doesn't seem terrible. Attack for 3. Okay. It still dies. Judith deals 1 damage to it. So that's fine. Deal the damage. Alright, there's a trigger on the achievement. And I don't want to cast these until they have a creature. But if they play a creature here, they do. Probably this. That's pretty good. It's probably we do this. Sacrifice this. Deal the damage here. Perfect. Play this. Trigger. Discard. And then damage here. That is 3 triggers on the achievement. I could sacrifice this draw. I think it might be worth it now. Alright. Frogify sucks. We're gonna sacrifice our own thing because it doesn't do anything now. It's kind of annoying. Alright. Mayhem Devil's pretty good. And then sacrifice this. It's okay. It's 1 damage to any target, which is pretty good. But if the opponent knows about it, I'm not that excited. This deck does draw a lot, I guess. Maybe that was a reason to keep it, to be fair. Ooh, lots of sacrificing here. We can get the achievement. Tons of triggers on the achievement here. Yeah, I think we're doing this. And then we're doing this. Auto pay. Attack for 5. Okay, yeah, I should have kept this. I'm against a control deck that's drawing a bunch. And they even have a card draw right here. Sure. This is fine. Killing commander seems it seems very short-sighted, right? It's your card disadvantage. I'm going to get it back anyway. We should hit them, but I'm not going to. Because the achievement. I already have the achievement. I don't need to grind the achievement, but I want to demonstrate what it looks like if we're just trying to get the achievement and we don't care. Sure. I mean, that's pretty good. Yep. Draw a card. Okay, so we should probably kill the Ravenous Chupacabra, right? So let's do 5 for this. And then 2. Target you. Sacrifice this. That's non-combat damage, by the way. So that counts. I've lost count of how many triggers I have. But next turn I can play Mayhem Devil, sacrifice these. Like wipe their board, pretty much. So we have to sacrifice our board, because that's going to clear everything. I will take 6. Let's do this. They take the Planeswalker for sure. I don't know how to do that where they don't take the Planeswalker. Oh, they didn't take the Planeswalker. Sick. Okay. So we're going to do this. And this is going to be tons of triggers on the achievement, right? We're going to deal 2. Is this all creatures? Creatures your opponents control. Well, we're going to do this. Sacrifice. And then we'll do 1 here. And then we're going to do here. Sacrifice. I can't see. Damage here. That's gone. Cycle this. Auto pay. Probably attack for 5. Alright, cool. So Mayhem Devil dies here, right? They play Massacre Worm, then they make a copy. So everything's gonna get -4, -4. Yep, lose 2. Can this copy anything? Yeah. They don't make a copy? Oh, it's at the beginning of your upkeep. So I have to get rid of that Massacre Worm. This is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 1 more land. Let's play this. Then we'll play this. Sure. That's fine. Definitely attacking for 5. Sure. They can play Braids. Auto pay. Sacrifice a land. Okay, cool. 1 damage. We should go face, but for the achievement, we're hitting a creature for no reason. Yep, makes a copy. -2, -2. Okay, now my board's gone. They make a bunch of 1/1s, I guess. They don't do much, though. Down to 2, and they attack. Alright, so we lose, but you saw, like, how many triggers did we get on the achievement? And that's the whole point of this deck, right? Although it helped a lot that we got Mayhem Devil, but we also got matched up against a control deck that was killing Judith. And yeah, I think that's one of the most efficient ways to get this achievement. There's always red creatures in particular. You get your Cacophony Scamps and your Fanatical Firebrands. All of these work. 2 damage to any target. This wouldn't work, I think, because when you play Stomp, it's not a creature. Goblins in particular seem pretty good. You get this. You get this can tap to deal damage to. Does it do anything? Any target, yeah. There's the 5-drop Siege Gang Commander. This guy, I'm not saying it'd be a good goblin deck, but there are lots of goblins that deal damage to anything. You get Fanatical Firebrand, Cacophony Scamp, Fireblade Charger. I guess you could play that. I don't know. I mean, this also isn't very good. Ooh, this one's interesting, right? When it enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature. Once again, this is like the Changeling thing. If they have 5 creatures, will that give you 5 points on the achievement, or is it only going to count 1 instance, right? But yeah, Tribal Goblins definitely seem like a good way to go as well. For this, so many of them damage creatures. So anyway, hopefully that's useful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.